Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of Pillar to Post. I am Jeremy Lambert, and today we have 5 esteemed guests chatting the latest news in wrestling. They're going to banter. They're going to yell at each other. They're going to score points. I'm going to mute them. I'm going to abuse my power. Let's bring them on. From Fightful Overbooked, from Grappy Hour, she has to deal with Joel Pearl every week. Please apologize to her. Please give her your well wishes. It's Lillie Alexandra. Lillie, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing well. From Grapsody, everyone knows this man. Everyone loves this man. The Bean God, Righteous Reg. Reg, how are you?
In the building. What's up, Jeremy Lander? What's good? We're in here. It's in the building. It's Grapsody. It's Righteous Reg. Let's go.
From comicbook.com, you see him at front row at all the WWE live events in Nashville. Connor Casey is here. Connor, how are you?
I demand front row tickets for the next show from this, Jeremy.
Any show.
Just a show. Okay.
From literally everywhere, but Believe Pro Wrestling, from FMC here on Fightful Overbooked, from the Grassy Dudes on Fightful Overbooked, from Wrestle Talk, from I know I'm forgetting about a million other things. It's SP3. There we go. He's got the Woody Page.
And your Quizzlemania champion.
Quizzlemania champion.
Forgot that as well. And yes, FMC, or as I like to call it, SG4L, SP3 groveling for the Lakers.
From Give Me Sports and setting your Twitter on fire. He was the reason we're late on this show today. Louis Dangoor.
Yeah, setting tweets on fire. Giving you content on Fightful Overbooked when you can dunk on me. Yeah, you know me from there. But thank you for having me, Jeremy. I'm looking forward to this, whatever this is.
People thought this was just a setup to dunking on Dangoor, and we were just all going to roast you for the next hour, which isn't a bad concept.
You probably still will.
Yeah.
Will. But I've actually been all right recently. I've not been that bad.
No, Joel Pearl, Louis has not purchased a proper microphone yet. Do you hear this, man? You think he does like interviews and stuff? You do interviews. Why don't you plug your mic in?
It's in.
It sucks.
It's in what?
Yeah.
You got that.
You're muted. Muted on Louis already at -1. Louis at -1 points.
-2 for that Nikita Lyons mic that he has for NXT. So,
Can I say the word that I want to say when we talk about Nikita Lyons on the stream?
Yes, please.
What, shitters? Straight shitters.
It is what it is. They made the bed and now they're lying in it.
Oh, my Lord.
Literally.
Guys, here's how this worked, because I've explained this so well to everyone here on the panel and even on social media. It is like Around the Horn. We're going to have different segments. The first segment is going to be headlines, where we have 2 topics. We'll go about 10 minutes. Everybody's going to be about 2 minutes or so to talk. I will mute everyone. I'll let everyone have their turns. The second segment is buy or sell. There's going to be 3 topics. We can cut that down to about 5 minutes. Everyone will still be around for buy or sell. You get about a minute each on that. After buy or sell, 2 people are gone. I'm eliminating 2 of you. Yes, please send super chats so I have money for the youngest one is out of diapers. Okay, I don't need diapers.
Oh, I'm talking about you can send me money for diapers.
Okay.
I got 2 biracial babies. Remember?
Let's go. Yeah, money for diapers, baby.
After buy or sell, 2 people are gone. You're kicked out of here. You're gone. All right. You're no longer to be seen ever on this show again. The third segment is a lightning round. We're going to do some quick hit topics between the final 3. Somebody will be eliminated after that. Then we'll have the showdown, 1-on-1, 3 topics, unless somebody goes 2-0. And then we'll crown a winner. The winner will get FaceTime to say whatever they would like for about a minute and a half or so. I have the timer. I know how to score the points and everything. It might not be as intuitive as Around the Horn, but I promise points will be scored and everything. Muting will happen. Louis already at -1 to start this show. Okay. You're at -1, Louis. You showed up late. You don't have a mic that works. You're at -1. All right. First topic, everybody, for the headlines round. Does Vince McMahon wrestling in 2022 mean anything, as he is reportedly going to wrestle Pat McAfee at WrestleMania? We're going to start with Lillie. Lillie, does Vince wrestling in 2022 mean anything?
Personally, I think that's a big no. I think this is just pure vanity play at this point. I think he's just having fun and doing it for himself. Other than that, I really don't have much to say about that.
Reg?
Yeah, I think it means something. It means that he doesn't care about his roster. As we all know, he only cares about one person. His name is Brock Lesnar. I'm actually surprised that he just didn't book Brock Lesnar 5 times, 10 times, 15 times during WrestleMania. Let him squash the entire roster, the women's roster, the tag roster, all the rosters. This says that they are running out of ideas. Actually, they've been out of ideas for a long time, but this is like scraping the bottom of the barrel. Vince McMahon is a grandpa, a great grandpa, I think at this point. He has to be. He's an adult, a double, super, quadruple adult grandpa that does not need to be wrestling. We don't want to see anybody die on pay-per-view. We like death matches, but not actual death matches at this point. So Vince McMahon, just wrap it up, dude. We don't need this. We don't want to see this. It's going to be sad.
Connor?
Yeah, it means that they looked at their roster at the start of February and said, whoops, we forgot to make any stars for WrestleMania. I knew we were forgetting something. So quick, get me Steve Austin, Johnny Knoxville, Pat McAfee, Vince McMahon, and any other celebrities we can drag out of here. Oh, Logan Paul, even though half the world kind of hates him already. And just pray that this is enough to get us 200,000 tickets sold for Dallas come April. That's a bit of a stretch. I don't think this is actually going to happen as a match. I think they've already given themselves an out with the Austin Theory bit. That match doesn't really excite me either. Honestly, when it came to Pat versus Vince, my big question was who the hell calls the spots in the ring? Because Vince is probably can't.
No. McAfee calls the spots in the ring. All right, McAfee's a true pro. SP3?
Man, I can't believe so many people have answered and not get this. Yes, it means a lot. He's 76 years old. This is all about headlines for WWE. It ain't about pleasing you. It ain't about pleasing anyone that's watching. It's about headlines and making money. If you want an Austin level surprise, what were the better options? The Undertaker for the 46th time having a retirement ceremony? And some of y'all are stupid for wanting him to have a solo induction. I don't want to even go there. But who else? Ric Flair, who's a scandal waiting to happen? Nope. Hulk Hogan. Well, Terrence from Florida. Come on, you can't bring him in. You can't. So Vince McMahon is the only viable option. When you lose one McMahon, you have to replace him with another. They've been drawing ratings with the McMahon name for over 25 years, ladies and gentlemen. And no matter how much we hate it, no matter how much we go on social media complaining about it, people still watch this bull. So at the end of the day, it means a lot. Vince McMahon versus Pat McAfee will get headlines, ESPN, everywhere they want, and that's what WWE wants.
Louis?
Yeah, I think it's WrestleMania is not for us. WWE is not for us. We are not the target audience, and the target audience WWE wants are the casuals who are watching during the 90s, the early 2000s, who will know who Vince McMahon is and be like, okay, that's cool. Isn't he a bit old? I may watch that. And also the NFL fans who are like, oh, Pat McAfee, I know who he is. Let me check out why he's facing the WWE chairman, who's like 76 at this point. I think that WrestleMania is now, it's a time for the celebrities to come in. It's a time for basically everyone to be like, right, it's not the time for the biggest, it should be the time, it's the biggest show of the year. It should be the time for the biggest feuds to culminate, but it's not that. It's a time for the biggest names, whether they're inside of WWE like Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, or outside of WWE if they're kind of mainstream stars with some loose connections like Logan Paul or Johnny Knoxville or Pat McAfee. So yeah, it's just not for us now. But you look at Pat's numbers on like YouTube, and his interview with Brock got like 2 million views. That's more than, I know comparing YouTube and TV is difficult, but that's more than what Raw gets. So you can see why WWE wants him in that spot with possibly the biggest name still in the company. Like, I think Brock's huge. Like, probably he'll be the biggest name on the card other than Logan Paul. So I get why they want him on. And to be fair, as long like at least it's not against an active wrestler, right? So it can be like its own harmless little like segment on the show where like the people that want to watch it will watch it. The people like
Shouldn't they use an active wrestler and put somebody over instead of Pat McAfee though? Connor, finish your point.
My point is that honestly, we're all kind of we're looking for a car crash on this one. Is Vince going to hurt himself? He's 76. If he takes a bump the wrong way, he breaks his back, punctures something, and we're looking at a guy getting carried down on a stretcher. That's not exactly entertainment. And guys, the NFL, Louis, I know you're overseas, so this is a bit of a foreign concept to you, but Pat McAfee, while he was a bit of a figure in the NFL, he's not anymore. He's more of an overall sports figure. So it's not like the hardcore football fans are going to be like, oh my God, he's fighting a 76-year-old. I need to watch this. No.
You've proved my point then. If he's not just an NFL guy and he's not just a WWE guy, he's an overall sports guy. He's got all of those audiences. And I'm sure that people would know the Vince McMahon name and know the Pat McAfee name and still be a little bit interested to be like, damn, even if it is car crash, what's it going to be like? It's like, I'm not an MMA guy, but if Dana White was going to have a fight, I know it's a very, very loose comparison, but if he was going to have a fight, I'd probably watch it and be like, what the hell is going on? And I think you might get the same thing with this, where people watch and go, what the hell is going on with Vince McMahon and Pat McAfee?
Oh, they're going to say what the hell is going on, right? That's a fact. That's definitely going to be stated multiple times.
Doesn't care about if it's good or bad. They just want the eyes.
Yes, but is that enough for people to say, hey, I need to dig through Peacock's very obtuse-looking menu and figure out how to subscribe in order to pay for a show for something that's kind of... Well, is that show being sponsored today by Surfshark VPN? You tell me.
Every show is being sponsored by Surfshark VPN nowadays.
Let's not also forget that Vince McMahon has taken some of the craziest bumps historically.
Yeah.
You know, so who knows what will even happen. But to your point, will he die? Will he get seriously injured? And what is his point? What is he trying to prove? What is he trying to prove other than just get these clicks, get those impressions, get that ad revenue, you know? So
that's the draw. You can see a 76-year-old man wrestle. It's either going to be really bad. Carney. At the end of the day, WWE has reverted back to Carney a very long time ago. They've been reverting back for years. For the Attitude Era, they had like 8 or 9 stars in the main event. Then they went back to the Hulk Hogan model of John Cena just...
Reg, go.
I hope this isn't.
You got something, Reg.
Yeah, no, because I'm hoping, like, hearing everybody, I'm hoping this isn't a Vince McMahon being like, watch this. I'll show you guys how to be a star. I'll show you how to draw. I'll show you how to be a great big man at WrestleMania, and trying to prove something to the wrestlers, which really just grinds my gears, because that's pretty classic of him trying to prove something to the wrestlers. Yeah, I'm really curious about what is the point of this. Why? I mean, Pat McAfee, I liked what he did at the NXT shows a couple times. He had some great matches. I'd rather see him in there with somebody that can actually go instead of somebody that might actually die. I'm just not interested in that. I'm scared for him, for his grandchildren, for his daughter, his son. I'm scared for all his whole family, because this just can't end well. Like, what is he going to do? This is just a stunt to set up Austin Theory. I'm tired of these. We think we're going to get a match, but then right up into the match, just kidding, here's an actual different person than we advertised for 2 months. Stop doing this. I don't want to see it.
Is that the, like, to Louis' point, isn't that the appeal of, now I'm not using Dana White as an example, but when you have these freak show fights, when Nate Robinson gets into a boxing match with Jake Paul, like, people want to watch this. Yeah. Lillie, are you not in on freak show fights?
Oh, 100%. But, you know, to Reg's point, I don't want to watch something where there's someone could actually get hurt. A freak show is a freak show because both people are kind of on an equal playing ground. This does not seem to be the case here.
Like, I get what everyone's saying about the Vince thing, right? But it's not going to be a proper match. We know that.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of smoke, a lot of stuff around it to protect him. I mean, he might be a lunatic, but he's not going to try and kill himself. I think that it will be a lot of smoke and mirrors. It will be a lot of showbiz, so they can kind of get Vince McMahon's wrestling, and then not have him actually wrestle like a proper match, but it will kind of be a car crash bit of fun, which could be fun. Like,
that's what drives me crazy about 2-night WrestleManias is all this fluff. This is fluff. We don't need this fluff. Just give me the meat. I want to eat the meat. I want to eat the meat. I don't want all this fluff.
I get what you're saying, though, and I get, like, the meat of it would be like, I don't know, like steak. If Cesaro was still working there, or so like Cesaro and Drew Gulak, what a match that would be. Stick that on WrestleMania. Cool. But
They did
Vince is
WrestleMania
probably gonna
in
get-
front of nobody.
I know, but I mean, who's going to get the biggest reaction at WrestleMania? Vince will be up there. Vince will be up there with Stone Cold.
All right, Louis, time's up. Shut up. I promise I have the point scored. So after that, Lillie has 5, Reg has 11, Connor has 4, SB3 with 7, and Louis with 9. So if you're wondering why the numbers are in the corners, that is points. When everybody is talking, I am trying to keep track of when you're talking what your points are, but I am marking it down. So I do have points. I do have it actually scored there. Second headline, Tony Khan is going to make some announcement tomorrow. And now he's announced the announcement a million times. It is game-changing. It is otherworldly. It's going to set the wrestling business on fire. Connor, what do you think this otherworldly announcement is from Tony Khan?
Well, I'm going to shut down the idea that it's him, that it's AEW partnering up with HBO Max, because that's not an announcement that AEW would make. That's an announcement that Warner Media would make. If you recall from last year, it was Warner Media that announced that Rampage, that was the name of the show. Here's when it's happening. Here's what network. And that Dynamite was leaving TNT for TBS. Those are announcements that side is going to make, rather than Tony Khan grabbing a microphone midway through Dynamite and saying, oh, hey, by the way, we've launched this massive deal for a streaming service with HBO Max. It's more than likely, here's my guess, it's a partnership with Ring of Honor. He's not going to buy Ring of Honor outright, because what do you get with that? All you would get is a few title belts and the rights to a few pay-per-view names. If he launches a partnership with them, however, he can get the rights to the library, which then makes a deal with HBO Max look sweeter, because suddenly you have a ton of hours of content to offer them, as opposed to just a couple of years worth of TV and a lot of YouTube videos. You get a potential talent trading deal where you have guys in AEW that can go over to Ring of Honor for these big super indie events, give guys that are kind of wallowing on dark the chance to cut their teeth elsewhere. And you also have the chance to get some of the bigger stars from Ring of Honor that are still floating around over on AEW. Jonathan Gresham's backstage at Dynamite last week. The Briscoes, we know, we keep hearing about them talk about their stuff with FTR. And it also allows Ring of Honor to keep kind of floating around as this super indie. Whereas if you buy them, suddenly you've got to be paying for all of that stuff and also booking it on top of the 5 other things that Tony is trying to do at once, which I think is just stretching him a little too thin.
SB3, what do you think the announcement is?
I think it's a co-promotional show with New Japan Pro Wrestling and possibly another promotion. I think that it's got to be at a big arena in a place that AEW's never been before in a market. I mean, we've been hearing a lot of West Coast announcements as of late, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's in like someplace like Los Angeles, San Diego, someplace in California or in the West Coast area, because that's where they've been making their big announcements. And that would make sense with New Japan Pro Wrestling having the LA dojo out there. And we've been seeing the crossover with Jay White kind of intermingling. You could see Impact getting involved in that as well. So I think it's a big co-promotional event that they're going to promote a couple of months out, and that's what the big announcement is going to be. I don't think it's going to be the HBO Max deal. I do agree with Connor. That's kind of something that Warner Media would do, not Tony Khan on an episode of Dynamite. And it's not going to be Tony Khan. It's going to be Tony Schiavone, because all of Tony Khan's announcements go through the other Tony. It's like he's the puppet, and Khan's got him. He got the hand in his ass. So that's how it works. That's how it's going to be. I think it's going to be a co-promotional show.
Lillie, what do you think?
I think there's kind of 2 things going on right here. And I think anytime Tony Khan announces an announcement about an announcement, it's always something right to the left or right to the right that you think is actually going to happen. I think, yeah, something with New Japan is going to happen, whether it's going to be one show or just bringing more talent over. I don't know. But I also think that, yes, the ROH library is going to get acquired, and maybe some type of partnership with someone like Vice Media, who does a lot of sports documentaries, might be in the works, because you have so much of an overlap of the roster. I could see them kind of going down that alley of a lot more sports documentaries, even doing some bundle deals with AEW and ROH DVDs, or just doing a lot of really interesting content through network TVs, through TikTok, through YouTube, whatever it may be.
Reg?
I think I agree with everybody in here. It's pretty much going to be either ROH or New Japan deal. But I think the big deal is Tony Khan needs to relax with these big announcements, because it doesn't need to be this anymore. We rather just have the announcements. Now everybody's anticipating at every big show. We're anticipating some big thing happening, and I don't think every show needs to be centered around some big announcement. When you have an immense, talented roster of so many talented people that could be taking up this time that you're going to use to be putting over whatever these announcements are going to be, anyways, you're just taking up more time with announcements. Just either do the announcements and announce them, or go for it. I don't know. This is. All these Tony Khan announcements are too much, in my opinion.
Louis, you're muted, Louis. There you go.
I think he opens himself up for a lot of criticism when he announces these big announcements, because it gives people basically like a week to fester on all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, it's going to be this thing where he challenges Vince McMahon. It's like, no, it's not. And although anyone in their right mind knows that's not going to happen, he still opens himself up to that criticism by being, I guess, so hyperbolic. I mean, his statement that he gave on his like daily busted open radio to just chat. He said, I have a huge announcement coming. It's going to be something very important in the wrestling business. Like, I quite like Ring of Honor. I don't know if that's hugely important. I quite like New Japan and like doing a super show. I guess that would be kind of important, like hugely important. But I think that the way it was kind of like set up is like this could be like industry changing. And none of the ideas anyone has put forward on this show or outside is kind of like industry changing. And that's not our fault. That's not anyone here's fault. That's not people on social media's fault. It's just no one can really think of anything. So either it's going to be an idea that's so out of left field that no one sees it coming and we're all like, oh, damn, no one saw that coming. Or we're going to be like, okay, like, is that industry changing? But he spoke about being under an NDA. Like, would any of this need him to be under an NDA? Buying Ring of Honor, maybe. A super show with New Japan? I mean, New Japan can, I guess they could say, let's do an NDA until it's announced, but I can't see that happening. But for this, like, for it to be under an NDA, I think including that bit, it makes it seem bigger. But I actually saw, so Ryan Satin tweeted today. They did like
anyway. So
yeah, I was about to say how you don't mute him when he says that name. But no, I had my eyebrow up because did you not remember the talks between AEW and New Japan before AEW started? Wouldn't New Japan be ones to give them the NDA because they didn't even want to work with AEW, so of course they would sign an NDA because they like, y'all are blabbermouths, y'all will put this on the internet right after our conversation, so let's plan this out, let's make this intricate. Both of those ideas would need an NDA. That's why I think those are the co-promotional show in a place that AEW has never been. That's huge for them. So for them, they are the industry. They kind of have to go with that mindset because their competition goes with that mindset as well.
What are the odds? Oh, go ahead, Connor.
Well, basically, anytime that there's any sort of deal in the entertainment biz, an NDA is quick to follow. So the big speculation that, oh, why is this needed to be? It could be the slightest business acquisition has lawyers jump on it and say, hey, you need an NDA with this. Getting to the whole part about Tony hyping up a surprise. He's kind of broken the system where he's forgotten that actually just surprising us with a wrestler popping up out of nowhere is a lot more exciting than us speculating about it.
Definitely.
The best surprise they've had probably in the past couple of years was the Bryan and Cole stuff, which for all the speculation, we didn't necessarily know they were both going to show up that night. And the Malachi Black thing from last summer where he came out of absolutely nowhere. And we didn't know that that he didn't actually have a 90-day no compete.
That was reported on FIFO Select first. We had Malachi Black showing up that night, Connor.
And a surprise is supposed to be a surprise. If you're announcing a surprise, is it a surprise anymore? I personally do not think so.
Agreed.
It's all about the buzz. You look at the Google Trends for AEW. It's not when CM Punk showed up. It's when Sean broke the news at the peak. When Sean broke the news that he was potentially going to AEW. It's all about the buzz. Yes, it'd be great, and as wrestling fans, it'd be awesome if we could go into a show and not know Punk's gonna go there, and then Cole personality hits, and we all lose our minds thinking it's not gonna happen. But we got to think about this. Put our business hats on and be like, why did they announce it? Because they wanted to sell out one of the biggest arenas they've done. They wanted to get the most amount of buzz going into AEW, most amount of buzz to one of the first episodes of Rampage. Makes so much sense to pre-announce it beforehand. But that's like an exception. But when you're announcing like a big announcement every week, it loses its flavor. If you did that a couple of times a month, or a couple of times, sorry, like every couple of months, we'd be like, okay, like big announcement time, as opposed to like, oh, big announcement. Like Keith Lee's there, and I love Keith Lee, but that could have been a surprise. That's not going to garner that much kind of mainstream media attention beforehand that your likes of CM Punk would do. So I think it's about choosing your moments for when to make the big announcements, not outright scrapping them.
All right, real quickly, what are the odds that this is a disappointing announcement? Real quickly, Lily.
I could go 50-50. I think everything AEW can go 50-50 odds. I think the ROH or New Japan partnership's good either way. So I personally am not too invested and don't really care. I'm just happy to see wrestling.
Reg?
I think it's pretty high that it's going to be a good deal for pro wrestling because Tony Khan has always been doing great deals. And pretty much like Lily said, everything AEW does is something. So it's going to be worth something, I think, definitely. And we're all going to be happy about it. You hear a bunch of rumors and stuff. I mean, you really have to shit the bed at this point for it not to be a big announcement.
Connor?
I think it's 50-50. I think people are going to complain. Some people are going to complain no matter what it is. Hell, I love the Keith Lee debut, but people were still complaining about that. It's also just as possible that he's like, yep, we got to, instead of Roads to the Top, it's a new reality show based on different wrestlers each season. I don't know.
True.
And that could be a disappointment.
SB3, real quickly, give a number.
About 75-25. Based on history, he's delivered on his surprises and big announcement most of the time. This isn't a Dixie Carter situation. And I feel like the way we're talking is like he's this.
Say quickly, SB3. Louis, give a quick number.
50-50. He botched his own announcement last time and had to draft in Jay White because he fucked it up. So the high chance.
Gotcha.
All right, everybody. After the first round, Lily has 11, Reg has 15, Connor has 13, SB3 has 15, and Louis has 13. All right, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
So you also wrestled, I think it was Joey Janela. You did a Canadian Destroyer on him. How'd you feel about
The what?
You did a Canadian Destroyer, the front flip pile driver, I think. Didn't you do one of those? Did a 450 off the top rope as well?
Who did 450 on?
You did a 450 with the twist and a bunch of flips.
No.
I think you could have done it.
Joey probably would sell out the Garden with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that match hasn't been put together? You
I'll
and
be
Joey
the
in
Olive
the Garden.
Garden.
The Olive Garden.
But it'd be the Olive Garden. God damn it. Not MSG. The Olive Garden. Yeah. It's a meat sauce garden.
Would you do like a breadstick on a pole match? How would
Yeah, it'd be a breadstick on the pole, and I'll shove it up his ass.
Sign up to Fightful Select. Here, Sean, worst interview ever, Virgil, as the ad for that. Guys, it's time for buy or sell.
Oh.
Everybody gets about a minute. First topic, buy or sell Adam Cole winning the AEW World Title on Sunday. Reg?
Sell. It's not Adams. The one Adams going out of this match, and it's going to be Adam Page. It's not Hangman's time to lose the championship. Adam Page is a great contender for the time, but I think the future of the AEW World Championship is definitely 3 letters, and that's MJF.
Lily?
Sell. Absolutely sell. I do not see it going that way. I see it either going to, Darby, Punk, MJF this year, maybe even Lance Archer.
Louis?
So he should retain the title and then in an open challenge on Dynamite the week after, he loses to MJF.
Again with this.
You're just going to keep going with that one, huh, Louis? I like it. I like the dedication.
That was a joke, let me say.
like it.
That was a joke. But yes, sell. He should not win. It should be MJF.
SB3?
It's all about the sell. Cole's not winning. This is going to be a great match. I think they've told a great story with not a lot of tension or focus because everything else in Revolution is getting a lot of focus because it's a tremendous card. But yeah, the future is MJF, and that's going to happen at Double or Nothing. So Page wins.
Connor?
I think Page wins, so this is a sell, but I also think that Cole will be champion. I think that we talk about how Khan had the first 4 world champions mapped out. I think Cole is one of those next 4. where he is in that list is entirely up to them. But you look at this match, and it does not have the same hype as something like CM Punk versus MJF, which is why I think this match doesn't even main event Revolution on Sunday. I think the dog collar match gets that nod. It's more deserving. There's more of a storyline behind it. And honestly, I could see them coming back to this come All Out, and that's when Cole finally wins.
Anybody thinking that Cole wins, Kenny Omega shows up? Am I the only person with this thought?
Yes.
Kenny said that he's got his hernia operation still to happen. So he wouldn't.
He doesn't have to
returning.
wrestle. He just shows up and confronts Cole.
You need to
But
build
then-
that. You need to build
Yeah.
him coming back more, I think.
I think that happens on TV. I think they build that for like Double or Nothing. They're gonna do probably like Cole and Red Dragon versus the Elite in Stadium Stampede,
Or Bullet Club, something happens too.
or
right?
that too. Yeah, you can do
I
that.
gotta be honest. I really don't want that at Stadium Stampede. Like, even that.
Why
match-
not?
It was good. It was good when the Elite was a part of it. When you let Chris Jericho under his own devices.
You get
Agreed,
Urban
but
Meyer.
are we comparing Jake Hager to Adam Cole? Like, come on. There's a certain level where you just let the fucking great wrestlers just wrestle. And at that point, I think that Red Dragon and Adam Cole and the Elite are in that bracket where you're just like, they don't need the smoke. They don't need the Vince McMahon, Pat McAfee treatment. They're in AEW. Give them the Stadium Stampede, right? But when you've just got the best wrestlers in the world, just let them wrestle.
That's a PWG match too, a 6-man. So just go for it.
Yeah.
Put him in the ring and let him go for it.
Next topic on Buy or Sell. Impact No Surrender. It's on Saturday. Does anybody realize this thing is on Saturday? We have Moose
Impact?
against Heath in the main event.
I'm
Connor,
saying-
you're an Impact.
I
You're an
thought No
Impact guy.
Surrender
Wait,
was
wait.
2 weekends ago.
Yeah, you got the name wrong. It's Sacrifice.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Is
I
it
was like, this already
Sacrifice?
happened.
Oh,
Alright.
great sign, buddy.
oh no.
Clearly, I don't know that the show is on Saturday.
I should get
Sorry,
a point
Impact.
for getting the name right.
Sure, you can have a point. You know what? SP3, you get 3 points for that. You're up to 20.
Jeez.
Sacrifice is on Saturday. Did anybody realize that?
You
It's
said
on Saturday.
Heath is in the main event?
Yeah,
You sure
Moose,
this isn't
I
an
did
N-
not get that wrong.
This
I
is
did
not an
get Moose and
NWA
Heath
show.
wrong.
Not an NWA show. You're not mixing up these things, right?
No.
I don't know
No.
what the hell's going on here.
Connor, you're an Impact guy being from Nashville. Are you buying or selling this pay-per-view?
How dare you accuse me of such things? God, I am selling this show. Impact was once the company that refused to die, and now it's the company that refuses to change and grow.
Ooh.
It's driving me nuts just how
Yikes.
how much they have, yet how little momentum they ever move forward with it. Last month's Jay White match with Eric Young was the first time he's had a singles match in Impact since he showed up last summer at Slammiversary. And now they're doing a random one with him and Alex Shelley. Matt Cardona is one of the hottest acts in Impact in independent wrestling right now. He's in Impact. You gave him the title that everybody made fun of when you debuted it, and you just had him wrestling Jordan Grace the whole time. You got Honor No More. It's a wannabe alliance almost. It's a shell of what it's even trying to imitate. It's, other than the Kingdom, nobody in that group is a seminal Ring of Honor name, except they added Eddie Edwards. That was the one saving grace. But you talk about the people you could have brought into that. Jonathan Gresham, his wife's in your company, but he'd rather wrestle anywhere else. Bandito and all the luchadors are still showing up in GCW. The Briscoes are trying their damnedest to fight FTR in just about any company they can get their hands on, except yours. So, yeah, I'm not that excited about Moose's latest title defense. My bad.
Connor's
guys.
never going to be welcomed back to the Impact Zone.
Nope, no more interviews for Connor. He's done. He's out.
Louis with the WWE hat. He's switched hats now. Are you excited for the Impact show that I can't recall the name of?
Listen, as you know, unless the promotion starts with W and ends with E, I have zero interest in watching it. Zero interest in partaking in dialogue. I only watch AEW to rile up all of you people on Twitter. But honestly, I don't think it would be physically possible for me to give less of a shit about this show. I really don't.
SP3, you buying or selling Impact Sacrifice?
I'm buying it. Impact has come up
Don't
with
even. Oh my
they've
God.
come up with the
You
gimmick.
just need content. You just
They
need content.
literally, they literally
Shut up, Louis.
have literally come up with the gimmick of piggybacking off of other promotions pay-per-view weekends. That's what they do. They did this
Bad
for
idea.
Hard to Kill. It was the same week as Wrestle Kingdom. They did this last year for Slammiversary. Jay White was the news for about 1 day because John Cena returned the following day at Money in the Bank. This is what Impact
And it
does.
never works for
It
them. I don't know why they
never
keep
works,
doing it.
But it always, I watch it and it's usually good wrestling. It's just, yes, it's really depressing of where they at. And no matter how good the wrestling or how good the storyline's in, it stays in the same place. But I'm buying it because No Surrender was better than Elimination Chamber. So Sacrifice will probably be at least enjoyable, but it won't be the best pay-per-view of the weekend.
You wouldn't go that far with the bit that it was going to be better than AEW. Lily, you buying or selling Impact Sacrifice?
Very reluctantly, but I gotta sell it, man. And I can sit here and talk all my shit on Impact, but at the end of the day, they still have one of the best women's divisions, like, period. You got Lady Frost, you got Mickie James, you got Perazzo, you got like so much talent, and you got Gail Kim, in the Office. You got so many things going on in the women's division that are happening. And even on the overall roster, you got Black Taurus, you got all these luchas that I love. And yes, the storylines, they're dog shit. The overall editing and production is dog shit. It's stuck in this like early 2000s new metal aesthetic where all the music's like, yeah! And it's bad, and it needs something. But I love it's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I will still watch it probably.
Reg, are you buying or selling?
Look, all those
Sacrifice?
points that Lily brought up are the reasons that I like it. I would buy this pay-per-view if the theme for it was My Sacrifice by Creed. I'd be right in. I think this would be an incredible show and everything would be great. Impact, I don't know. It's funny because I'm thinking about when Mickie James was in the Royal Rumble and people were like, oh, now WWE is going to help out Impact. What happened to those people? Because they didn't help out at all. Nothing happened. None of those people translated from WWE to Impact. No one watches the show. Jeremy doesn't even know the name of it. It's crazy out here. I'm telling you, it's Impact. They have, like everyone has said, they have a tremendous roster. They have the wrestling's always great. It's just getting people to watch it is like pulling teeth, and it's almost impossible. And this show is going to be the same. I don't know why they keep piggybacking off great wrestling weekends, because it never translates for them. Just like pick a weekend where nothing's going on and try to get us to watch it, Scott D'Amore. And also My Sacrifice for the theme song.
Our final buy or sell topic, Cesaro and AEW. He's a free agent. AEW's been signing a lot of people. Do you like Cesaro going to AEW? Buy or sell, Louis Dangoor?
I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to put it behind the counter on hold.
Then shut up. No, we're not. Make a decision, Dangoor.
Fine. I'll make a decision.
Don't unmute yourself. No, you get muted again for that. Connor, buy or sell Cesaro and AEW?
I'm actually going to sell this one. I think Cesaro could find a lot more success if he just toured the world trying to wrestle for as many different promotions as possible. The sad fact is that for as great as AEW is right now, there's kind of a log jam when it comes to the people that they're signing and bringing in. And hey, you're hyped up for a week or two, but unless you have a program to start running with to the next pay-per-view, you're kind of either jerking the curtain or you're on dark elevation for a couple of weeks. Look where Jay Lethal is right now after his arrival a few months back. If you let him just go to WXW, GCW, any of the UK promotions, just let him do his thing, let him build up hype for a year, and then show up as almost the wrestling nomad in AEW saying, hey, now bring me your best. And then we get matches like Danielson and Cesaro versus Lee. And we get all these awesome matchups that we've been waiting for, as opposed to the instant gratification of, hey, you get a couple of matches, and then he has to go stand in the back of the line with all this other amazing talent that they just simply do not have time for.
Reg, buy or sell Cesaro and AEW?
I'm selling Cesaro and AEW because I think all the matches that people are super excited about, we've either already seen them before or there could be time for this. I think Cesaro needs to, exactly like Connor says, hit the scene. I love to see him against Shingo in New Japan myself. So like go to Japan. Actually, and I'd love to also see him in Noah or All Japan, like pretty much any Japan promotion. Cesaro would tear it up. Any UK promotion. I don't think it's time for Cesaro to be in AEW. They have a huge influx of talent, even coming in currently on top of that. So I think his best option right now would just be go all over the world, make a lot of money, and have as much fun as he can.
SP3?
I will buy it just to be different. Because Chris Hero is also a free agent. Give me the kings of wrestling in AEW. That's the only way I can see Cesaro coming in and getting some shine. Yes, they have some of the best tag teams in the world, but getting kings of wrestling versus the Young Bucks, versus the Lucha Bros, versus Santana and Ortiz. I'm a greedy professional wrestling fan. I want what I want, and I want to see that matches. I want to see I want to see Claudio Castagnoli, excuse me. I want to see Claudio Castagnoli versus Kenny Omega. I want to see Claudio versus Rey Fenix, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin. Give me all of that. And that's the only way this man will get the money.
You're not going to see them for a year, like Connor said. He's going to do nothing. He's going to wrestle on Dark and Rampage every now and again. Lily, buy or sell?
I mean, there's massive backlog issues at AEW right now. I think that, yeah, he would totally get lost in the fold. And him as a free agent, imagine if he just pops up in New Japan. Imagine if he just pops up in AAA, even Impact. Like, if you just kind of drop in here and there as a free agent after having his reputation, after having his legacy, I think that's a lot more impactful of just being another Tony Khan surprise.
All right, Louie, what do you have to say?
So, Cesaro is, without doubt, top 10 wrestler in the world right now. Legitimately. And people often forget that because of WWE and the fact he's been there for 10 years. But you don't pass up on that guy. Like, if I'm Tony Khan, even if I sign him now and I'm like, we're just not going to use you. You can go and do everything else for a year, but I want you under contract so you cannot sign exclusively anywhere else. Because there is absolutely no chance that someone like Tony Khan, who I know we dragged him for being a little bit of a carny earlier and a little bit of like a, hey, big announcement, but he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. And what's right for business right now is getting the best wrestlers on the planet with the most TV experience and just the best, who people want to see. And I think Cesaro is one of those guys where, for the longest time, people have been saying, right, he can do more. He can do more. And I think Tony Khan knows that. And people will want to see him face Kenny Omega. We saw him face Daniel Bryan in front of no fans on SmackDown during the first beginning of the COVID era. And they were some of the best matches on TV at that time. Imagine Claudio Castagnoli. By the way, WWE doesn't own the trademark to Cesaro. So that's interesting as well. They own it to Antonio Cesaro, but not Cesaro. So could be something there.
Thank God.
Imagine him against Bryan Danielson in AEW. Like, that is a match that...
Where's he going to sign if Tony Khan doesn't sign him? Who else is going to sign him? He's not going to sign an Impact. He's not going to sign no one's going to sign him. He could just let him kind of live in limbo for a while, I think.
He could go to New Japan. He could sign exclusively with New Japan. He could sign I mean, it kind of will see what happens with Ring of Honor. He's got a lot.
He just had a kid. He's not signing exclusively with New Japan.
Yeah,
right
no,
now, Louis. You're dropping trademark scoops, but you're not dropping kid scoops out here.
Mm-hmm.
This man's 41 years old. He's signing one more big contract. That's why I said AEW. And none of the places y'all said he can't work for. If he is signed with AEW, he can sign with AEW and take a stay in New Japan for 3 months and do the G1. He can sign with AEW and go to Impact Wrestling. He can sign with AEW. And the most important thing I want to see him do is versus Jonathan Gresham for the original Ring of Honor World Championship. And he gets the first world title that eluded him, the Ring of Honor World title. That's what I want the most. And any of that is possible by signing with AEW.
Maybe he starts his own wrestling school too. That could be another play.
Could do that.
Yeah, agreed.
Just let him stream and talk about coffee on Twitch as well. Wherever he goes, as long as he can talk about coffee, play some Uno, and get on Twitch, he'll be happy. But I think he'd be smart as well to wait out until next month, see what happens with Ring of Honor. No one really knows what's going on there.
Ring of Honor is not going to be what you think. Yeah, whatever you're thinking it's going to be is not going to be.
It's going to be an independent that he could work for.
They're not going to sign
it.
You didn't see the Fightful Jonathan Gresham thing where he said that they're not having contracts, so he's going somewhere. It's not. Cesaro's not going to go into that situation. It'd be crazy.
It's not going to be contract, but let's see. Well, before you make any big decisions, wouldn't it be wait a month? See what Ring of Honor looks like and what kind of things they're offering, what kind of promotion it's like, because you get that factored into a deal. What if AEW and Ring of Honor, I know we've spoken about a potential partnership, What if Ring of Honor are doing something that AEW doesn't like, and then the kind of as the month settles?
What are you even talking?
What are you talking about? If Tony Khan is about to give you the bag, you're gonna be, nah, I gotta wait for what Ring of Honor is doing. You know, let me give you a month. Let me think about it.
Layaway, just like a layaway deal.
Did you not see the first class of the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame? Half of them are with AEW. What are you talking about? Them not getting along or not wanting to do something they want to do? What? Huh?
All right, that concludes Buy or Sell. That's the end of the first segment. Of the second segment, the first round, we have 2 eliminations. Leading the pack right now, we actually have a tie with 24. SP3 and Reg both have 24 points. With 23, somehow, Louis Dangoor has 23 points. And I'm sorry, Connor and Lily, you're both at 22. You've both been eliminated. Any final words, Lily?
Watch Scrappy Hour and support independent journalism, whether it's wrestling or anything you are passionate about. And don't talk shit on wrestling until you get in the ring once.
Let's go. Shout out Lily.
Scrappy Hour, 5 o'clock, right here. Fightful Overbooked. 5 p.m. Eastern, Mondays. Lily's there. She's great. Joel Pearl's there. He's there.
He's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, let's not go that far. This is why you're getting eliminated. Thank you, Lily. Goodbye. Connor, any final words?
Just follow me at Connor Casey on CB. I have been in the ring, so I can talk crap. Bye.
Bye, Connor. Thank you. Guys, we have more sponsors here in just a moment. We'll be back with the lightning round after this word from our sponsors.
Let's go back.
What's up, everyone? Steven Jensen here from Fightful.com, letting y'all know you should tune in every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, but this Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, to the Spotlight on Fightful. Myself and Jeremy Lambert are there every week talking the world of professional wrestling, including topics for the WWE, AEW, other companies such as Impact, MLW, NWA. We talk independent professional wrestling, and we do the Creator Spotlight, where we talk to YouTube creators, we talk to wrestlers, we talk to promoters, anyone we find interesting in the space of professional wrestling. So check it out every Thursday on the main YouTube channel, youtube.com/Fightful. And we also have a lot of shenanigans there too, such as moments like this.
Oh my God! I did not know that was coming.
And moments like this.
Sit in your chair with your little Shakespeare promos. Get out of here with that. I'm not here to talk, Edge. I'm not here to talk. I'm here to kick your fucking head in like my hero, Bryan Danielson.
Make sure to join us every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, but once again, this Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, our guest for the Creator Spotlight will be Cole Radrick. So we hope you join us, and we'll see you there.
I didn't realize Jensen did a full-on production for this ad.
That was a hell of an ad.
Yeah, I was just like, can you just send like a 30-second clip to promote this show? And he did a full-on production in like 2 minutes. Bless Steven Jensen. Guys, it is time for the lightning round. Be quick with your answers. Louis Dangoor, in celebration of the AEW album, Who We Are, that Reg is a part of, that Will Washington is a part of. A lot of awesome people are part of that. In celebration of that, best wrestling theme, favorite wrestling theme. Louis, what's yours?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Nothing beats that glass shatter. Even just for that, best ever.
Reg?
I'm going to have to say Shinsuke Nakamura, because I was at that match with him and Sami Zayn, and like, you just can't take that moment away. Things are just amazing. That theme, they screwed it up. They brought it back. It's the one. Shinsuke.
SV3?
Bret the Hitman Hart. That guitar riff, I'm sorry. It takes me back to when I was 6 years old and he was the man in WWF every single time.
Anything new? I mean, Shinsuke is kind of new, but nothing from Ciampa's new theme? How are we feeling about Ciampa's new theme?
Did you see him try and defend it? Where he was like, yo, like, I was like, okay, sweet, but no, like, we're not buying it. He was so good that it made me almost like be like, okay, yeah, like, I'm buying it, but then no, like, how? Everything sounds so generic. I was at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I was at the Royal Rumble this year, and we were sitting there. I was sitting actually next to Sean, which he loved, and I was and I was like, who is this person? Because I didn't know who the fuck it was, because the entrance themes all just sound the same. So No, nothing new.
I like MJF. I like identifiable theme songs, and when you hear MJF, it makes you think of him instantly. So that's the one of like the current themes. If I'm talking about licensed themes, I go to AJ Gray, Waka Flocka. That's like that. That's the jam. Like that gets me every single time.
I like Cody's theme just because as soon as Cody themes hit, it's gonna be some chaos either on the timeline, in the ring, somewhere something's gonna be going down because Cody just gets a reaction from everybody. And when that music hits before WrestleMania, the world's gonna melt down.
Hang on, you think we're getting that theme?
What other thing are we gonna get?
We are getting brunette, fresh face,
No,
tattooed lasered Cody, dashing Cody Rhodes, paper bag over his face.
No way.
We are not getting any.
Not in a million years.
He didn't even wear the paper bag over his face. That's how you know you didn't even watch.
Louis too young. He doesn't remember this stuff. Louis, how old were you when dashing Cody Rhodes happened?
3, 4, 5, around that age.
That was like 2011, wasn't it?
I didn't even know Cody Rhodes. I didn't know Cody Rhodes was in WWE until about 3 weeks ago when someone told me. I just
oh my god, is that true?
Wait,
of course it's not true, Jeremy.
I don't know. I have no idea when it comes to you.
Hilarious.
Although wrestling did start in 2019, I knew Cody was there.
Yeah. And it was Stardust. Cody actually wasn't there in WWE. Stardust was there.
Mustache, dashing, undashing,
same guy.
Legacy.
Same dude. Kayfabe is killed
Same
here.
Dude.
Yeah.
Next, you're going to be telling me that El Generico guy and Sami Zayn.
Oh, hold on a minute. Wait a second. We can't. Yeah, don't say that out loud.
We don't say things like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
New Japan celebrating their 50th anniversary this year, their 50th anniversary show. I can't wait for Dangoor's answer on this. Favorite New Japan memory, SP3?
I'm gonna go with Kenny Omega beating Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Dominion 2018. I'm really of that like Bullet Club, the influx of fans during that era when AJ Styles joined the Bullet Club. That's when I started really watching New Japan, so I got to see the story of Kenny Omega and seeing him get that moment. That's my favorite.
Reg?
Sadly, I have to say the same moment. The trilogy of Kenny Omega and Okada are legit the greatest matches of all time, hands down. They brought wrestling to a different, higher level. Okada is probably the best Japanese wrestler ever for the things that he's done.
Louis?
It's when they let my boy AJ
God.
Styles go. AJ Styles go. Mr. Phenomenal. Come to WWE. Come to where it's at, and he came at the Royal Rumble. Great moment with the poor camera work, and you had to get Roman Reigns.
You made this a WWE moment? How did this happen?
Roman Reigns is there like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? And you got Michael Cole like, is it? Can it be? And it was AJ Styles, Mr. Get Kicked in the Dick himself.
Come on.
He is in WWE. Best New Japan moment. Listen, without that, you don't have Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance theme in WWE. So as well, with him and everyone, and that was your favorite theme. So
all right.
I've got to respect Louis for going to making
he
that a
WWE
moment.
Yeah, he did.
The final on the lightning round. When does Veer come? Louis, as the WWE bootlicker, when does Veer actually come?
Listen. He's on a journey right now. It's not who won the race, the tortoise or the hare? It was the tortoise. Let it play out. Give it time. He'll be out.
Use the let it play out. SP3, when does Veer come?
I don't know. I think he's still coming, ladies and gentlemen. He is setting Natalia's whole gimmick is the Guinness Book of Records. I think Veer is making the record for the most amount of days that he is coming. So I think that he is going to keep coming for as long as we want him to come. So keep rooting for Veer to come.
Reg, when is Veer?
Veer, we've entered WrestleMania season, so Veer is definitely Raw after WrestleMania. He's done. He's going to keep coming and coming and coming until WrestleMania is over because, like they said about Asuka, they don't have anything for anybody, so they definitely don't have anything for Veer. See you in a month or so, Veer.
That's the end of the lightning round. SB3, I'm sorry. You are at the low score with 30. Louis and Reg both have 31. SB3, any final words?
Go over, subscribe to this channel because I'm on here a lot on Fridays with Jeremy, FMC, or that one, that way, and with Steven Jensen on Degrassi Dudes. So check me out there. Thanks for having me on the first ever Pillar to Post.
SB3, we appreciate it. Guys, we'll be right back again with another word from our sponsors. We have the final showdown. It's Louis against Reg, and I can't imagine how this is going to go.
Hello, friends. It's me again for Fightful Overbooked. Let me tell you about what's going on in the next few days on this channel. First of all, dropping tomorrow is a very interesting review because a bunch of us sat down and we talked about the new WWE YouTube show, Corey and Carmella. And boy, did we have a lot to say about it. You'll want to check that out. That drops tomorrow on Overbooked. On Thursday, if you're looking for a little bit of history and you're looking for some dog collar matches, we got you covered. Jeff Hawkins and I sat down and we talked about the history of the dog collar match, the pertinent information and the important matches you need to check out and have yourself a review for going into AEW Revolution, where CM Punk and MJF, they battle in their own dog collar match. There's all that. There's more hits and misses. Here's why you're wrong. Tim and Joel pod. Day after Dynamite, there's a ton of stuff. Check it out. YouTube.com/FightfulOverbooked. We post stuff every day, sometimes twice a day. Cheers.
Like the Peacock Network, just run an ad for our own channel when everybody is already on the channel.
Yeah. I like how we become the Brady Bunch over there on the side, though. I'm just like Alice. And
yes.
Name's Alice, or whatever her thing said. I don't know.
Final showdown. The points are done. It's 1-on-1, 3 topics, 2 if, I like somebody's answers a little bit better. Let's begin with your favorite person in the world, Louis Dangoor. MJF against CM Punk. Book this finish for me on Sunday.
So it was one of the best promos I've ever seen. I want to preface it by saying that. It's the best babyface promo you'll see all year, and it came from a heel. And that's how good MJF is. And this match is perfect. Coming the week after, Cody spoke about how he's going to leave MJF's blood on the mat. You've got that sympathy aspect there. How I booked this to go down, I don't think you can have it be violent from the outset. You want to see CM Punk showing some level of sympathy, almost like this is the monster he's created, and acknowledging that. And then I think something turns within the match. CM Punk he gets too much and he goes for MJF and they're going after each other. And you have Wardlow almost not want to get involved, him want to leave this to CM Punk and MJF and have it just be those two. But you have MJF pick up the big win. He goes on to Double or Nothing to take the title off Hangman Page. This year is all about MJF. This year is his year to become the guy in pro wrestling. And that starts off with that promo last week, leading into this match, which is going to be so emotional, so story-filled. We'll end with all blood on the canvas, but we'll start with that emotional. I want to be taken on a journey with this match, and I think we will. We'll have the sympathy, we'll have the emotion, we'll have the.
You said Cody was going to spill his blood right off the bat.
That.
Reg, book the finish for CM Punk MJF.
This is an epic fight, back and forth, double bloodbath. Both wrestlers are going to be bloody. MJF is down on the mat. CM Punk is about to finish him, and he starts thinking about that promo, thinking about the things that he done, thinking about that he inspired MJF to get to this match. And that's at the moment that MJF will strike, get the 1-2-3 victory. MJF is winning this match, winning this feud, because CM Punk came to AEW to do this, exactly what he's going to do here, put over MJF. It feels like it's a dream of his. It's a dream of MJF's. It's everybody's dream. And here goes the great final scene. MJF gets a victory over his hero.
Reg is going to take that one because Louis immediately screwed up by saying Cody cut the promo of spilling MJF's blood. You got to get these facts right, Louis.
I'm just in that WWE mindset of like anyone
Oh
WWE
my
late.
God.
No, you are. Well, here you go. Here's a WWE topic for you. Reg, you start. WrestleMania Saturday, they've announced a couple matches. The two big ones really being Charlotte against Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch against Bianca Belair. They've not officially announced a headliner for WrestleMania Saturday. Which match should headline WrestleMania Saturday?
WrestleMania Saturday will definitely 100% be headlined by Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair because it's Ronda. They brought back Ronda. They only care about Ronda. They are going to make her into what they always inspired her to be, the female Brock Lesnar. She's going to squash Charlotte Flair here at WrestleMania, claim her victory. She's going to go to the other match. It's actually not going to be the main event because she's going to squash Charlotte in the first match. Then she's going to insert herself into the Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair match, squash both of them, take both titles, hold them up at the end. But then when you think she came out on top, that music is going to hit. And then here she comes. Brandy Rhodes comes down, locks her up in a submission hold. Ronda taps out with the quickness, and both belts are now Brandy Rhodes. Brandy 2 belts is here in the WWE. Fireworks, there's lightning, there's all kinds of stuff. Everybody gets a free hot dog because Brandy's here, and we all celebrate victory.
Louis, which match headlines WrestleMania Saturday?
Well, I was going to say, Brandy said she wanted to win a title. She's going to win 2. Good for her. But so, how this should go down. Night 1 opens Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Night 1 ends Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair. Ronda wins her match. Becky wins her match. At the end of the show, they come face to face in the middle of the ring. Ronda comes out. Becky is standing in the ring. Hold both titles up in the air. Night 2, unification match. Impromptu unification match. We're getting 1 title unified. Let's make it 2. Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, opening Night 2, WrestleMania. The return of the man at this point. She comes out with the man t-shirt on. Gonna be huge. Becky Lynch wins.
I'm gonna give the point to Louis. 1, because I want to see what your thoughts on this third topic that I have. 2, Reg, you did say it was gonna headline the show and then reverted and said it was
I
going
did.
to
Yeah, I know. I changed it right there. I get it. I understand.
The final one for all the marbles here. Louis, you start. Book Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
Oh damn. Okay. I was about to say MJF there.
Oh boy.
Vince McMahon on the Pat McAfee show. Austin Theory starts squaring off with Pat McAfee. It looks like it's not going to be a match between those two because, as we've established, people don't want to see it. It's going to be a battle of McMahon versus McAfee with their proxies. McMahon's proxy, Austin Theory. McAfee's proxy, who's it going to be? He's only undeniable. He is only Cody Rhodes. He comes out at WrestleMania. It's like a CM Punk deal, right? It's not announced, but everyone knows it's going to be Cody Rhodes. He comes out. He hits Austin Theory with the crossroads. The match is over. Done. He pins Austin Theory, celebrates with Pat McAfee at the top of in the middle of the ring, WrestleMania. Big event. And then he goes on to feud with the likes of Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens and everyone that WWE's got to offer. But he does it by feuding with the McMahon.
Reg, book Cody at WrestleMania.
The show kicks off WrestleMania Night 1. The intro, there's fireworks, there's pyro. The Rock somehow shows up with that big rocket he had at the last WrestleMania in Texas. Shoots off that big rocket. Immediately, Cody Rhodes' music hits. He's the first one out the curtain. He has a microphone. He says, "This company is my company. I want to see Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns in this ring right fucking now." He says fucking on pay-per-view. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is crazy. I cannot believe this is happening right now." Brock Lesnar comes out and says, "Look, I do this. Like, if you want to go, let's have a fight right now." Roman Reigns comes down and says, "Look, I was preparing for Brock Lesnar So I'm going to see Brock Lesnar. I don't talk to Cody Rhodes. I don't know Cody. I don't know Brandy. I don't know their little dog, Pharaoh, or what his name is. I don't know their kids. I don't know nobody out here. This is the Roman Reigns show. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Brock Lesnar says, Lil, I want to fight right now. Winner faces Roman Reigns tomorrow night. Boom. Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes in the first match of WrestleMania are locking it up, and Cody Rhodes drags Brock Lesnar from here to next Texas, and Brock Lesnar is bloodied, and he loses the match to Cody Rhodes, who goes on to the next night, the main event of WrestleMania against your guy, Roman Reigns. His entrance is at minimum 45 minutes. 45 minutes worth of Roman Reigns entrance. He gets to the ring. Cody Rhodes comes out. There's fire. Of course, there has to be fire. He's looking like that guy with the red and the white and the blue. Uncle Sam, I think. Yeah, he comes out with the big giant Uncle Sam hat. He's talking about you have to do your taxes. Everybody's confused. We're like, is this Erwin R. Shyster again? Like, why? I don't really know what's going on here. Cody Rhodes is confusing everybody. He has Brandy. He has the dog. He has his baby for some reason. We're like, damn, it's crazy. He doesn't have his baby at WrestleMania, but it's lit. Cody Rhodes is like, I want the whole family to be here for this. So he hits the ring, immediately hits Roman Reigns with a Canadian Destroyer. 1, 2, 3, match is over. Roman Reigns loses the match to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is now your WWE champion. He's a Universal champion. He somehow won the European champion. They brought that back for just this match. And also, he takes Vince McMahon. He wants to everything that he done to Vince, everything that Vince done to him before the Stardust thing, whatever. He's talks about this great promo at the end, and at the end, we are all just loving Cody Rhodes. Flowers start coming from the sky. Brandy's holding her 2 belts. Cody's holding his 2 belts, and it's lit. Shout out to Triple H though, because it's gonna be a terribly sad event for him.
I mean, you're closing WrestleMania with Brandy and Cody 2 belts. It's tough to top that.
I mean,
it's tough to top that.
Who doesn't want to see that?
What was this with Roman Reigns? You built up 2. You did like a baby, but you confused yourself.
No, I'm both Usos.
Oh, you're both.
Oh, I see. Yeah. That's what's up.
Sure. Well, like the Usos, you have lost, Louis Dangoor.
I had to submit defeat. That was as a E-drone. What do they call me? An E-drone, a Fed warrior. That was good. I surrendered.
Yes, baby. It's gonna be great. Cody's amazing.
Reg, you have FaceTime. You have a couple minutes to say what you like. Guys, I know there was a bunch of super chats. I will read them all after we do all this. I did not want to interrupt the flow of the show by doing a bunch of super chats. Reg is going to have his FaceTime. Reg, whatever you would like to say, the floor is yours.
Yes, look who it is. It is Righteous Reg, 1/3 of Grapsity. You better watch Grapsity every Saturday. It's 9 a.m. Pacific for me. It's 12, whatever for y'all. righteousreg.bandcamp.com. Get you an issue of PWI. I'm working on some dope articles for the next one. This weekend, I hope you guys all have the new AEW Here We Are album. Got songs on there about Powerhouse Hobbs. Got songs on there about Jade Cargill. This weekend, we're going to be in Orlando, Florida, getting super duper lit. It's AEW. It's Revolution. We're going to be at that music event. Ruckus is going to be there. Will Washington's going to be there. Montezi, Russell and Flow, Righteous Reg. It's going to be insane. I can't believe it's going to happen. Sunday, we're going to be at Revolution. It's going to be some dope wrestling weekend. I hope if you're out there, you come and see your boy. Let me know. Show some appreciation to all of you because you guys have made my life complete. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate Jeremy. I kind of inspired this show because it's also pretty fitting that I won and I'm number 1. It's Double R. No one will ever beat me. I'm the best in the world. If you got a little quiz show, if you got trivia show, I'll come on there, take all your crowns or whatever. It's your boy, the best in the world, Double R.
There you go. Thank you guys. Thanks everyone for joining us and tuning in. Thanks everyone who was on the panel, Reg, Louis, and Reg said it. He did. He tweeted a while ago, someone should do an Around the Horn style show. And I was like, oh, I love that show growing up.
Cool one, baby.
We got to do it. I said, and I even told you, I'm not doing this without you. You got to be on the first one. And if you don't, I just want your blessing just because I don't want people to think oh, look at this guy. He just stole it after Reg tweeted this month ago.
I'm like, no, let's do it. I got to be the first guest and I'm going to win. And here we are, baby.
Let me read some super chats. You guys are more than welcome to stick around.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Nikolai Kreese says, buy or sell, surprised you didn't go with Push or Barry. Probably should have. I'll rebrand that for next episode.
Yeah, we're working on it. First episode.
Yeah. JJ says, it's time for big names for WrestleMania. Edge is a coward. Big Star Jeremy versus Edge would have sold out both nights. I think I sold 200,000 tickets for that.
That's
thing.
so many tickets.
It's
a lot. My God, that's so
lot. Louis, how many have you bought?
I'm actually not going.
Really? You went to Rumble, but you're not going to WrestleMania?
I'll explain to you afterwards. I'll explain to you after we got there. But no, I'm not going to.
Texas, yeah, I see Louis. No, it's Texas. It's fine. I know. I see.
Jay said Jeremy has a 33% chance of getting Sacrifice name correct. It's going to be better than Revolution. JJ's lying about better than Revolution. Yeah.
Come on,
I thought
JJ,
it was No Surrender
relax.
this week. I really did. I was like, "What?"
I mean, that show was pretty recently. Like
it was.
2
That's
weeks
what I'm
ago,
saying.
man.
I'm very surprised they're running like 2 shows within like 3 weeks of each other.
Yeah,
It's surprised the hell.
I genuinely didn't know it was happening until you said it.
I mean, most people didn't.
Forget the bill.
I'm like on Twitter a lot, right? Like I'm on Twitter.
I even watched. I think I watched the last episode of Impact, and I still was like, "What? There's a show."
It's like no one's talking about it at all. I don't know, man. I feel bad for them, but it's like they are basically like you've muted a Twitter account.
Definitely.
And they're just like acting.
And I'm like, dude, I followed them. How did I not see that?
Like they're acting you, and you're like, I know they're talking, but I don't know what they're talking about. I'm not seeing any of their stuff, but they're there, and you know they're there. And it's just
Frank just says this has been amazing. Appreciate it, Frank. I was really looking forward to this. I hope we made some days with this. Got some laughs out of some people. What am I doing? Oh, play this video in the overbooked section of StreamYard. What video am I playing? I have which one? The worst interview? I played that one, Joel. What other one am I playing? I have no idea.
Like, play my video again, Jeremy. Play it again.
Oh, this
Sacrifice!
Jay White's yelling at me. What the name is.
Get it right, Jeremy.
That's a good video.
That's hilarious. That's a really good video.
Guys, we appreciate everybody joining us. Now I know the next interview. Appreciate everyone joining us. I hope to do this at least bi-weekly. I hope to do it bi-weekly. I'd like to keep the Tuesdays at 2:00 thing. So hopefully we can make this happen. Hopefully everyone had fun. Thank you guys. Thank you, Louie. Thank you, Reg. Thanks to Connor, SB3, and Lily as well for joining us here. Check out all the stuff we got coming up on Overbooked. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all later.